The Celtic Twilight by W.B.Yeats. Miraculous creatures. There are marten cats and badgers and foxes in the enchanted woods, but there are of a certainty mightier creatures, and the lake hides what neither net nor line can take. These creatures are of the race of the wild stag that flits in and out of the tales of Arthur, and of the evil pig that slew Diarmuid. Diarmuid? I'm not sure what you pronounce and what you don't pronounce. Where Ben Bulben mixes with the sea wind, they are the wizard creatures of hope and fear. They are of them that fly, and of them that follow among the thickets that are about the gates of death. A man I know remembers that his father was one night in the woods of Inchy, where the lads of Gort used to be, stealing rods. He was sitting by the wall, and the dog beside him, and he heard something coming running from Bown Weir, and he could see nothing, but the sound of its feet on the ground was like the sound of the feet of a deer. And when it passed him, the dog got between him and the wall, and scratched at it there, as if it was afraid. But still he could see nothing, but only heard the sound of hoofs. So when it was passed through, he turned and came away home. Another time, that man says, my father told me he was out in a boat, out on the lake, with 2 or 3 men from Gort, and one of them had an eel spear, and he thrust it into the water, and it hit something, and the man fainted, and they had to carry him out of the boat to land. And when he had came to himself, he said that what he struck was like a calf. But whatever it was not a fish. A friend of mine is convinced that these terrible creatures, so common in lakes, were set there in old times by subtle enchanters to watch over the gates of wisdom. He thinks that if we sent our spirits down into the water, we would make them out of one substance with strange moods of ecstasy and power, and go out, it may be, to the conquest of the world. We would, however, he believes, have first to outface and perhaps overthrow strange images, full of a more powerful life than if they were really alive. It may be that we shall look at them without fear when we have endured the last adventure, that is death. And there's something. Whether or not people worship these beings, there's something that we evoke out of ourselves, something we get ready for ourselves. And yes, there are projections, there are egregors, but there are spiritual beings that operate it, and I don't just mean the souls that are behind the mind and behind, which is behind the body of who we are in this incarnation.